Hi, I'm FizzCat, and this is the first in a series of videos primarily designed to help the players in my clan, Armiger, and any new players who may join us in the future. If you're not an Armiger and you're pretty new to the game, then welcome, and hopefully this will be useful to you as well. Now, these videos are going to focus on the early game, but that's a very long stretch. It's from day one all the way to around the time that you complete your Arbiter missions. So, some of these aren't going to be relevant to where you are right now, but I'm hoping they'll contain some information that helps everyone and help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made when I was new. Um, Now, first, a little bit about me. Um, I've been playing the game since the beginning of 2021, and I started very casually. I floundered around for a while. Figured I'd play for a few weeks until I hit a paywall and then move on to something else. And I didn't bother to learn anything about the game. And then I got hooked. And so I looked around for videos to try and figure out what I was doing, and most of it was so far over my head that I was just completely lost, and my clan didn't talk. It was an early game clan, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I made a lot of beginner mistakes. And eventually, I found the clan I'm in now after several different tries with different things. And I found some videos that actually helped me. But it took me a long time to get my head around, particularly the concept. So I understood why I was doing what I was doing. Now I have a late game main account. It's actually the same one that I started back in 2021, and I continue to play that. But I found that I really enjoy the early game, so I have made a number of accounts, probably close to 20 by now, just to explore different strategies. And I want to try out different login champions, and I'll play them for a few months and then move on and try something else, maybe a challenge account with only rares, or different things like that. And as I said, I still do continue playing late game on the main as well. By the way, I don't actually recommend skipping around like that. It is really not productive if you're trying to learn how to get past the plateaus and out of early game and into mid game. You tend to, it's kind of a dopamine rush. Doing the early game, you get so much so quickly. You have all this energy. It's always exciting to get your first pair of speed boots or whatever, but it's not a great way to learn the game. And people who start a new account every couple of weeks generally just never get very far. So, but that's not saying you should never start over. It's just think about it hard before you actually do it. Now, I want to say a little bit about our clan in particular. So if you're not an Armiger member, just, hang out and bear with us. Armiger is the beginner clan for the Uncommonly Good Cluster, as most of you know. And we are what is known as a feeder clan, which means that we are designed to train up new players so you can feed into our higher level clans, move up into them. And once you're doing well on Nightmare Demon Lord, that's about when you're ready to start working on Ultra Nightmare, and that's when it's about time to start looking at moving up. Because you just get so much better rewards. You want those double chests on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, and you want a clan that's also doing higher level Hydra and Chimera and everything else. Now, the key to this is our Discord, and that is where our cluster interacts. It's where we help each other, and it's where most clans coordinate things like Siege and CVC and Hydra and Chimera clash. Now, since we're kind of a mixed beginner clan, we don't really worry too much about most of that, but the Discord is the very best place to get help on your account. Now, if you're a more casual player and you're not in a rush to move up to another clan, that's fine. We have room for all kinds of different players, and as long as you're chipping in and you're helping out on Clan Boss and Clan versus Clan, feel free to relax and take things at your own pace. But if you do want to move up, the Discord is a great place to get the help you need to do that. And we have endgame players that are topping the leaderboards. We have big spenders, and we have free to play and everything in between. We have content creators. And we have newer players who are just getting started. And so come and join us, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The only thing we ask is that you mostly stay on topic, be nice to people, of course, and you don't tag all members. Because when you just say members, you're actually tagging hundreds of people who are in all kinds of different clans all across the Discord, and they're from all over the world, and you don't want to accidentally ping somebody who is in a different clan at 3 a.m. So just watch that. And if you're not an Armiger member, there are other Discords that can be helpful. I'm biased. I think ours is the best, of course. But, Raid has a Discord, Hell Hades, and the big content creators have Discords, a lot of them. And some of them are kind of a bit of a jungle. You never know what kind of help you're going to get. But they do often have some good players who can help you out. So if you're stuck in some beginner clan and you really need a little bit of one-on-one advice about something, sometimes those are places you can go to get it. And there are also a lot of them have, find a clan tabs where you can go and see, if there's a clan or a cluster that's maybe looking for new members, and see if that's, if they have levels available for you. So, there are also some websites that can be helpful. Really, the best one is hellhades.com. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot of useful information there. Don't always agree with everything on it. I think I don't always agree with the tier list. And sometimes I like to do different masteries than what they suggest, but they're not horrible, and they do steer you in the right direction. The gear optimizer can be a great tool, but not so much for early game because, well, first of all, you need to know what stats you're looking for in the first place. And if you're not solid on that, it's not going to help you much. And also, if your gear isn't rolled up to at least 8, then the optimizer has no idea what substats are going to, where the substats are going to be, which ones it's going to roll into. So that's a little bit of a problem. They will not give you the best results if they don't know that. So that's something to look at, though, as you're getting later into early game and then into mid game. It is a good tool. They also have boss guides, which I think a lot of people don't really look at. But like, if you're trying to figure out how to kill Fire Knight or one of the Doom Tower bosses or something like that, they actually walk you through what kind of skills you need and what the mechanics are, and what kind of champions are going to work well for you. So that can actually be a tool that a lot of people don't really look at. They also have a stages tool that will tell you, how much accuracy you need, how much speed the boss has, things like that. And that's really great as well. And they do guides on the latest champions, so you can find out, what kind of gear you want to put your new login champion in or whatever. And there are other sites. Some people use Ayumi Love, which I haven't used it for a while. It also has tier lists, which seemed fine. So there might be an alternative source to look at. And there are a lot of specialty kind of things, like there's Deadwood Jedi. He specializes in clan boss, more kind of high end things, but they do have the clan boss speed tuning is pretty complex, but they also have he's got an arena speed tuner, which is actually it's like a speed calculator that you can use much more easily, and it's something you might actually get use of in early game. So there are a lot of things out there, and also new things are coming along all the time. There are new content creators. I don't want to get into too many specifics because the good ones of today may stop playing, or we might have amazing new content creators who are just getting going now and haven't gotten popular yet. So right now I watch a lot of I watch our clan. I watch Boozor because he's our big late game free to play guy who is right here in our cluster. And I do watch some Hell Hades. I watch Nub Raids. I watch some things like there are content creators who are really good for very late games. So maybe I'll look at them for Chimera or whatever, but they don't necessarily write about early games. So exactly what to recommend is kind of up in the air, but that's part of why I'm doing these guides. So hopefully I can fill in a few of the gaps. Uh, but you can always ask for recommendations on Discord too, and see who has helped. Who's helped other players in Armiger. So, and there's also Ash, who I don't normally recommend, but I have to say, if you're very new to the game, I watched his 2025 beginner guide before I started on these videos, and I was pretty impressed. So, um, you know, he's a big spender, and he's very late game, and he doesn't. Most of the things he says are not necessarily the best advice for new players, but he's solid on the very early things. So, if you're new, maybe check that out. Now, my goal, as I said, I want to go over the basics, but not the very basics. I feel like there is a gap in there for early game where, yeah, you got Kale to 60 or whatever, but you're not really sure what to do next. And I'm really, really hoping that I can help address some of these things, because this is a big game. There's a lot going on, and there's a big learning curve. And so hopefully, and just let me know, let me know in the comments or on Discord or clan chat or whatever, if there are things that you'd like me to address, or things that you're lost on. But a lot of the time I find that we don't always know what we don't know. And so, if you're at all new, then hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll go in and maybe catch, address some of these things that will help you. So, anyway, thanks for listening, and have fun.